What is up, my fellow Chibits? Hopefully all of you are having a very good day. So as you can see on the screen and by the title, today I'm here to bring all of you a One Piece anime episode discussion with my friend. Why don't you say hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Well, this is the first time my friend has ever appeared in one of my videos, and many of you guys have been requesting for a while now for me to, do a discussion with him. It's been something you guys have been asking ever since I told you guys I was rewatching the anime and I was watching it with my friend, and yeah, here we are. We're here making a discussion. So, just to kind of give a brief FYI, we're going to be discussing the latest episode of One Piece, episode 825. So, if you have not seen the episode, or if you're not up to date with the manga, then I do not recommend you to watch this video. Now, just to also do clarification here, my friend here, Trent, has only watched the anime. He is not a manga reader, so he has no idea what to expect after this episode. However, me, as you all know, I'm a manga reader, I know what to expect, and so it's kind of like you have two different opinions that's going to be, in this video. We're going to be discussing the episode and how we felt about it, and so I want to give the floor to you, Trent. How do you feel about this episode, and why don't you introduce yourself?
Alright, hello everyone, my name is, Trent, Jacob's friend here on, Xbox Live, and we've been, watching One Piece since, late October or early November of last year.
I would say it's around November, or late October. Yeah, it was definitely late October, I think we started it. So, how do you feel about One Piece overall? I mean, since we have been watching it since, late October, it's been many, many months now. We're right now in, February 11th to date this video. I mean, how do you feel about One Piece? How does it stack up to all the other anime you've seen over the many, many years you've been watching anime?
Well, I didn't really like any shonen until, let's see, it was very early on, but Fairy Tail, that's the only shonen that really got... I know, I was naive. But, yeah, no, Fairy Tail is the one that really dragged me. I don't know, it's just like...
Don't worry, we all fall in that pit.
I was in my teenage years,
hey,
so
we all fall in that dark pit sometimes, don't worry. Don't worry. At least you got out of it. You found the light.
Yeah.
That is One Piece.
Oh yeah, but let's see, Fairy Tail I stuck with, like, even I think late 2014 is when I really got tired of it, because it just felt like ass pull after ass pull, and it was it kind of went downhill very fast.
But okay, this ain't a Fairy Tail video, okay? This ain't a Fairy Tail. These One Piece fans don't want to hear us talking about the trash that is Fairy Tail, okay? Let's get off that trash. Let's talk about some quality, okay? Don't be bringing this up now. Come on now, my boy.
All right, let's see. After Fairy Tail, I tried to get into Dragon Ball. I tried so hard, but I just couldn't deal with, like, the constant power-ups, the inconsistency of, like, power levels. How, like...
Which is one of the big reasons why you haven't started Dragon Ball, as you told me. You don't want to watch Dragon Ball because you don't like the power scaling.
No, I sat down, I watched the first 50 episodes of the original Dragon Ball, which I was
Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, just to clarify.
Dragon Ball.
Okay.
When Yamcha was relevant,
Oh, okay, before the man was in, in a crater. By now, gotcha.
Yes. I did watch a little bit of Dragon Ball Z on Toonami when I was younger. I remember the Frieza arc and some of the Buu arc, but...
So basically, you just watched pieces here and there over time.
Bits and pieces whenever it was on Adult Swim, or Toonami. Yeah.
Okay.
Recently, before I got into One Piece, I got really into Boku no Hero. I'm still into it.
Good man for that. You're a very good man for that. I think many will appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. But, let's see. One Piece. Now let's talk about that. So, as you know, the main thing that turned me off was the amount of episodes.
Understandable. That's the biggest thing when it comes to One Piece. Many are just scared of the amount of episodes. I mean, think about it. Look, we're about to talk about episode 825. I mean, when you really think about that and you put it in perspective, normal anime only lasts 12 episodes to 24 episodes.
24?
And when you see something like 825 episodes, you're like, whoa, that's too much to watch. I can understand, and that's not even counting the chapters either. I mean, there's over 800 chapters to almost 900 chapters of One Piece, so it's understandable why that would be a big deterrent from starting the series. It's one of the biggest arguments I've always seen when it comes to people starting the show, and I can understand why many would not want to start it, because it's a lot of content. But now after watching it, how do you feel about that overall? How do you feel about, like, how many episodes they were? And, you know,
I
now
feel
after looking at it.
that each arc, see, it started off like the arc where Luffy met Sanji, that was only like 3 episodes with Morgan, or Axe Morgan. Forgot his name.
Sanji, you mean Zoro, my dude. Zoro.
I said Zoro, didn't I?
No, you said Sanji.
Oh,
you
well,
got
I
this
meant
latest
Zoro.
episode in your head, my dude.
Oh yeah.
No problem.
This episode killed me.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
But the arc where Luffy met Zoro with with Morgan, right?
Yeah, it was Helmepo. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Helmepo.
His father,
Axe
Axehand Morgan or whatever. Yeah.
Hand Morgan, yeah.
Yeah.
That was like the span of 3 episodes. And then we move on to the Usopp arc, which is like, I think 6 or 8 episodes with Kuro.
I don't know. You actually watched that arc without me when I was
That's the
busy.
only arc I watched without you.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then, like, as we go further along, the Sanji arc, that was I think that was like 15 episodes.
I'd say it's around 12, 15, maybe 20. I don't think it was that long though.
And then we get to the main one that pulled me in to the series is Arlong Park, Nami's arc.
That usually is the arc that gets everybody in. It's usually that arc.
That was like 20 to 30 episodes.
And it was a good arc. Oh my god.
It was fantastic.
Because it was the first time you actually saw something like that for a character. It was a really, really gruesome and dark arc. I mean, especially what happened to Nami and her family.
And Bellemere.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
It was a sad arc. Very sad arc.
Oh, yeah. And then we move on to Logtown, which is just set up for the Grand Line. And set up for setting up Dragon, the Navy.
And then Smoker, too. Smoker was a part of that. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of Logtown, I remember when we got there. Oh, yeah, Buggy. Dude, Buggy the Clown. That man is gonna be Yonko, okay? That man's
gonna be an emperor.
Yeah, gonna be a Yonko before everything's done. But, okay, jokes aside, though. When we got to the Grand Line, I know it was very early on. I think it was around episode 50-something, maybe
it was
60? It's 50s or 60. I remember you were very shocked we were already getting into the Grand Line that early into the series.
Because I literally thought that was like the end game, because the One Piece is in the Grand Line, and I was pretty wrong about that one.
Yeah, you thought it was going to be like maybe like later, way further on until they got in the Grand Line, and when that happened, you're like, wait, what? I remember you were shocked. I remember that shocked the hell out of you when you first saw that. How do you feel overall about One Piece? Like, how do you feel about the journey?
How do I feel?
Was it worth it? Like, was the time you spent?
The journey matters more than the destination, and the journey so far has been solid. There's only been, I think, one arc that was meh to me, and that was Thriller Bark.
Thriller Bark. Now, can you elaborate why? Like, you didn't like Thriller Bark?
Why? I didn't like the theme of it. It felt like a stereotypical horror style, like themed arc. Like, I get it was setting up Moria and also Brooke's introduction, but
and Kuma as well at the end for the setup for the time skip and all that.
Setup for the time skip, yeah. Stoppity. But I just feel like it was most of it was a slog to get through. Like the first and second half were kind of a slog. The third and final half was like where it got good with Nightmare Luffy, Oars Jr. or Oars. Yeah,
it was Oars Jr. It was Oars Jr. And then
Oars Jr. is
no, it was Oars. You know, yeah. Oars Jr. is Ace-kun. Ace-kun. It gets wrecked, dude. Oh my god. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I just like it's an inside joke with us. We play a couple of games, and like this man here, my friend here, Trent. He loves like jumping into the enemy lines to try to get bloodthirsty for a kill, and so we always reference Ors Jr. as this man getting bloodthirsty and chasing a kill if it ends up dying, and so we call him, oh, Asakun, trying to go after him. So we always play that joke with my friend Trent here, just to kind of give you guys some insight. But Thriller Bark, though, I mean, overall, you didn't like it because of the theme, right? It was because mainly
basically it felt too easy of a theme to tackle. Like,
so you would say that was a weak arc in terms of writing wise, or just the theme you just didn't like personally?
no, it's just the theme. I understand why people would like it. It's just I personally did not enjoy it as much as the other arcs.
So just to clarify, though, even though you didn't like the arc, how did you feel about that Moria setup with Kaido, and also the stuff with Brook? I mean, Brook, come on now. How do you feel about Brook?
Brook is amazing, okay? Brook is top tier Straw Hat, okay?
Good man, good man. You know, I respect a man that likes Brook. I respect a man. I'll tell you right now, look forward to some more epic Brook stuff, okay? That's all I'm going to say. As a manga reader, you better prep yourself. But, so you
I
like
also
that.
like the setup for Wano with the dead samurai that Zoro got the Shusui from.
Oh, yes! You know for a fact, like, I'm super hyped to get to Wano. I am so ready for Wano.
I am ready for Wano. I want to know more about Zoro's backstory. The most we got is that dojo they just showed up to one day. I bet you the man, he lived a very happy life with his family. He just got lost in the woods on a picnic and never found them again.
Dude, the man, no, here's the thing. The man was once a part of Wano. Like, okay, crackpot fury time, guys. The man was at one point in time, he was at Wano somehow. Zoro was. And when he wandered in the woods, got lost, wound up at the dojo, and wanted to be a swordsman. There you go, crackpot fury. Zoro is a Wano child. His family is a good family. He just got lost. But, dude, how do you feel about the Moria stuff? Okay, let's get into that real quick. Since you don't like Thriller Bark, though, for its theme, how do you feel about the setup with Moria and, like, with the Kaido stuff?
Moria, I feel like he used to be a good man with, like, a good crew, but, like, he challenged Kaido, got wrecked, everyone died, and so he just got the mentality that it'd be easier if I didn't have to care for anyone, so what if I had a crew of zombies?
Pretty much. That's the best way to look at it, and it's sad, really.
That's also a theory, though, because that hasn't been confirmed yet, I don't believe.
I believe it has been confirmed. Like, it has been confirmed Kaido killed his entire crew.
No, I mean, on why Moria became that way, I'm just...
Oh, I believe it was confirmed. I think Hogback was talking about it. I believe he did. Dr. Hogback did. But, right. Yeah, speeding up a little bit further, though, because I don't think everybody wants us to talk about old stuff. They probably want us to talk about the latest episode. How did you feel about the whole ordeal with the time skip to the Impel Down, to Ace, Whitebeard? How did you overall feel about that journey?
So, from Sabadi all the way to the Marineford?
Yeah, basically to the time skip and stuff. Like, what Luffy had to go through. Because, I mean, I've already told you my thoughts.
Oh, and,
yeah. I mean, just how do you feel about it? Because I think everybody right now, when they're watching this video, they want...
How do I feel?
They want to know how you feel about it. Because you're a newcomer to the series. You have just recently seen these scenes, like, less than a month ago. So they probably want to hear your opinion. They want to know how you feel about it. So, elaborate, how do you feel about everything that happened? What Luffy had to do to go through and to just try to save his brother?
Oh, I feel like he lost so much just to gain nothing.
Yeah.
Like, Impel Down, the man couldn't fight Magellan, so he literally had to lose years off of his life to gain a poison immunity and still couldn't beat Magellan.
It's messed up.
Yeah.
It's messed up. That man lost a lot. And then let's not even talk about Bond. My poor man Bond.
Oh, yeah, Bond Clay. The sacrifice he made.
Oh, dude, he is best boy. Okama way. Okama way!
Okama way!
Okama way! But yeah, that was. I have to say, I'm not even gonna lie about this. I think one of my favorite arcs of One Piece is Impel Down. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Sabaody, I love
Really?
Marineford, but Impel Down is like one of my favorite arcs. I know it's not an underrated arc. I highly doubt it is. I just think it was such a good arc because it was so short, but it had so much
Yeah,
going
it was
on in
like
it.
20 or so
No, I think it
episodes.
was less than that, dude. I think it was like 15. It was a very short arc. It was like a little transition arc from Sabaody to, like Marineford. And the arc just, it was so chaotic because Luffy was just going deeper and deeper into like the bowels of hell, basically, just to try to get his brother back. And we kept seeing old familiar faces popping up, helping him out and all that, unlikely allies. And then him dragging himself out of the
Mr.
prison too.
3.
Mr. 3, oh my. Mr. 3, I love that man.
That man cheated death with the banana gator.
Dude, like Crocodile was so done with that man back in Alabasta. He was so done. He strangled that man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but yeah, Impel Down I think was one of my favorite arcs though. So how did you feel about like the Ace stuff and Whitebeard? Like your first
Oh,
introduction to a Yonko. I guess this is a very good topic since we got to see Whitebeard and now you're in the arc with Big Mom. How do you feel about Whitebeard and then Big Mom after seeing Whitebeard and all that? Do you think Big Mom stacks up to the hype of a Yonko?
well, again, we haven't seen much of Big Mom yet. Or, well, I haven't. You're up to date.
Yes.
So,
I
so
see.
I can't I still think Whitebeard is, the stronger emperor as of this moment right now of what I've seen.
I can understand that. That's completely logical. I
The
won't
man
put you
can
down for that.
shatter the earth if he wanted to.
Well, yeah, his Delver's broken, and it's scary that
Yeah.
Blackbeard has it. Blackbeard's a heinous individual, dude. What he did.
Oh,
But
yeah.
do you think though, Big Mom will live up to the hype of a Yonko?
I mean, so far, she's a really interesting character. Cause like she has like this eating disorder where like she needs to eat a certain thing, otherwise she'll like stay on a rampage and destroy like entire cities. Um, what else is there? Like she, even though she doesn't look it, she's extremely smart, dude.
Oh
The
yeah.
way she literally set up Germa,
Uh,
66.
German
She
66
set
got
them up.
messed up, dude. They legit got... Dude, Judge is a scientist, and this man thought he was gonna take what, putting as a hostage.
He worked
got
with Vegapunk
played.
too.
Dude, yeah, he worked with Vegapunk, too, and you know how long Vegapunk's been getting, built up. I mean, Caesar, to the labs, to technology and all that for many, many, many
Oh, yeah.
arcs. I mean, just this man worked with Vegapunk, and then straight up, he thought he was gonna get away with it dealing with Big Mom, and then Big Mom pulls the rug from underneath him, basically. That's some savage stuff. So, you have to admit, in terms of thinking level, you wouldn't look at Big Mom as someone that would be that intelligent. She's scary intelligent.
Right. Like, but it makes sense because like they showed it. Like she goes to meetings because like you got to plan for shit when you're an emperor. You can't just do everything like free. You gotta like organize stuff. Like with Baroque works, like Crocodile, he was a mastermind behind it all, and he had to do meetings and pull the strings from
Behind
behind
the
the
scenes.
scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was basically always
Just
doing
like has eyes in the East Blue. What was the restaurant called? Like she knows that Sanji worked there.
Oh, you're talking about Berate? I think that's how you
Yeah,
do it. Berate? I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, I know one of you guys in the comments are probably going to correct me on that, but I know what you're talking about. I think everybody knows what you're talking about too.
Yeah.
Sanji's restaurant. Yeah, she has a really good intelligence network. I mean, she was able to find out, Sanji's life, where he was at. And that's just crazy because nobody really even knew about that in the first place. It just shows the level of intelligence network that, Big Mom must have to be able to figure something like that out. It also puts the question, if she can do something like that with Sanji, what's to stop her from doing something like that with Nami or anyone else?
Right.
Think about it. That's pretty scary when you really think about that. So, yeah, Big Mom is pretty scary. Do you think she's, like, worthy of Yonko status, though?
Oh, yeah.
You think she is?
Yeah.
Okay, so with that out of the way, I guess let's get into episode 825 because I think we've made everybody wait. We're already 24 minutes into this. Oh man. So to quickly go over the topics we want to discuss here to kind of give you guys all a FYI. So we want to basically do like a topic on the recap. We want to talk about the beginning portion of the episode. We want to talk about the new opening. Well, it's not a new opening. It's just new scenes in the opening. We want to talk about, the stuff with, Luffy, the food he ate and all that, how he reacted to the food that Sanji made him. We also want to talk about the 3 points that Sanji mentioned why he couldn't join the Straw Hats again. We want to talk about the reason why Luffy punched Sanji. And we also want to talk about that amazing We Are instrumental song. That was beautiful. And then we want to get into, like, the Judge, Luffy, and Sora, Sanji's mother, symbolism, how they are similar and different. And then finally, we're going to get into the man, the myth, the legend, the Katakuri. You all know, you manga readers know. But be quiet. This man here is an anime only, so do not spoil him. So, anyways, to begin, let's start off with the recap change, okay? So, or just the recap in general.
So you mean the point of view, how like last episode we saw Sanji's point of view, and this episode we saw Luffy's.
Yeah, well, like, I like that. I really like that, because the way the episode started off is very surprising, because normally how One Piece is, usually you have the opening song, and then you have, like, have the little opening saying, like, who's going to be the Pirate King, or giving the introductions to the Straw Hats, whatever, and then it has the recap. But the episode started off very different, which shocked me and you both, because, like, we've been watching One Piece for months now. We've gotten used to that routine of certain episodes. It's just, yeah. And when you see the episode open up with, footage, like, actual recap or something, you're like, whoa, it shocked me and you both. And I was just really surprised by that. It let us know that this was definitely a very important episode. Like, they were going all in for this episode for them to do a change like that. Now, for the recap-wise, do you think this is going to be a permanent thing? Like, do you think they're going to actually do this recap like this more?
No, I think it was special for this episode alone, just because, well, it was a very emotional episode.
Oh, yes. Like, especially like that 1 hour special for Sanji when he hit Luffy.
Dude,
that was a good episode.
This arc is climbing up there for my top favorite.
That's very surprising. There is some that think this arc is dragging on. I'm not even gonna lie. That
really?
is, some people have actually stated that.
I am one person who actually liked Dressrosa, so.
Well, yeah, but the thing is the big complaint people have is the pacing. You know what? Before we go any further with the recap and stuff, let's talk about that. Arc. Let's talk about that real quick, because that is the big subject everybody talks about when it comes to One Piece's anime.
The pacing?
Yeah, let's get that out of the way, because I know everybody's going to be asking that question, and I think everybody wants to know your opinion on it. I've already kind of said my opinion in separate videos, but I know for a fact they probably want to hear your opinion since you're anime only and it is your first time watching the show. So, The big complaint everybody has with One Piece, especially the anime, they didn't really have any problems in the Whitebeard War, and the only time it really started happening, like it started becoming apparent with the pacing, was Fishman Island to Punk Hazard, and then Fishman, yes, I even noticed even after rewatching, there was some issues with it. But people there was a lot of problems popping up for the anime for pacing wise for Fishman, Punk Hazard, Avenge Dressrosa, and I haven't heard really any complaints on Zoe. And I have heard many say in the manga
Zoe was a short and sweet arc.
Yeah, Zoe was a good arc.
It didn't really have any pacing issues for me.
Yeah, it didn't either for me. But, I mean, people have been saying, Whole Cake Island arc we're currently in right now is a little bit too slow, like it's dragging. But to back up, though, how do you feel about the pacing? Like, okay, you are someone that actually hasn't been skipping opening songs or the recaps. Yes, we haven't skipped opening or recaps,
even though
guys.
I've heard from many people that apparently the recap is the worst thing in the world, like 6 minutes long, and I'm like, it was like, we've only been seeing like, what, 1 or 2 minutes of recap, and then the rest is all content, but that's because the opening is long. They only have an opening, they don't have an ending song.
Yeah,
so
see, that's what many people don't realize. They don't realize, and I didn't realize this in the past. I am willing to admit that mistake. I never really took a moment to think about that, but One Piece doesn't have an ending song. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It hasn't had an ending song in a very long time. I think the last time I had an ending song was in the Alabasta arc, wasn't it? Or was it Skypiea? It was a long time ago.
Might have been Alabasta.
I know they haven't had an ending song in a very, very long time. And then when I noticed they didn't have an ending song, it all clicked in my head like, wait a minute. The reason why the opening is so long, or the recap feels so long, is because they're using the time frame from the lack of ending song for the beginning part of the episode for the opening and the recap. That's what they're doing. So in reality, they're not really having any different of time. Like, it's not a longer, like, time spent on just recap and opening. They're just splitting the time up and putting it into, like, one big segment of the video or the episode that comes out. So it does obviously look like it's very slow, or they're really just dragging out the episode with it, but in reality, you're gonna basically have the same amount of time with the ending song if it was still there.
Basically.
So, like, many don't seem to realize that.
Like, if we compare the We Are opening, which is like 1 minute and 25 seconds, compared to Hope, which is at least 3 minutes.
I'd say, yeah, Hope is at least 2 to 3 minutes long. And then you add in a recap that's usually lasts around 1 minute and 30 or so. Yeah. I mean, in general, it's basically the equivalent, the time spent on the recap and then the opening. It's basically just the ending song, opening song put together, and then the recap.
Basically.
So, I don't think necessarily that's that big of an issue. But let's get into the real point, what people complain about. They complain about how the episodes adapt a chapter. Sometimes they even adapt half a chapter. How do you feel about that?
Well, there have been some episodes where I feel like, last episode, not this episode, but last episode, that cliffhanger killed me, dude.
Well, yeah, the thing is those cliffhangers are manga cliffhangers. So you're starting to get manga cliffhangers now. You're starting to understand what we deal with.
Oh, jeez.
So, yeah.
But, see, I mean, really, it hasn't been, like, much of a problem since, like, maybe, like, halfway through Dressrosa. I noticed a little bit of, like, pacing issues in Dressrosa.
Well,
like,
was it bad? Like, what do you think?
No.
When you say pacing issues, what do you mean exactly?
Like, before we got into the Corazon backstory.
Okay, Corazon, I got you.
Yeah.
Like, what was
the birdcage game. Like, that felt like it was repeating itself over and over.
Oh, you're talking about, like, what? Like the recap? Or you talking about, like, just, like it coming in?
The recap, but it coming in as well. It felt slow. Like, really slow.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I guess that's to represent the torture of the game.
But also, I will tell you this. They actually put those scenes in to pad out the episode. I will admit that.
Okay.
They put those scenes for the birdcage kind of shrinking in as padding. Like little filler portions of the video. Or the episode. So, yeah, I do admit that. That was a problem. That was a big problem in Dressrosa that Toei Animation did a lot. It was a very...
That's why that arc took us the longest to finish. That took us at least, like, 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was a very long arc in terms of just finishing. I mean, it was a long arc in general, not just counting, you know...
Oh, yeah, like 150 episodes?
No, it's like 110, I think. It's 110 or 20 episodes. It was a long arc. It was extremely long compared to normal arcs we've watched. But, yeah. Pacing-wise, though, do you think Whole Cake Island, though, is a step up from, like, the pacing?
Oh, yes, definitely. I think, Zoe is one of my favorite short arcs, just for all the world building and, like, no pacing issues for me, really. The, Kaido setup, more Kaido setup, that is,
Oh, yeah, Jack, though.
Jack, yeah.
Jack tried to fight Zoe, dude. He tried to fight a big elephant. They tried to fight a big elephant. He tried to fight him. He got wrecked, dude. Oh, my God. But,
I already, was theorizing this before it was even clarified in the anime, but I was like, that man's a fish man. His teeth are, like, different. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. He had, like, different looking teeth, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so overall, though, did you like the recap from episode 825? Like, did you like the change of perspective, how it focused more on Luffy's side, POV?
I felt like it was important to see, because it's important to see both sides.
And what they had to go through.
Exactly.
Speaking of that recap,
I also like the similarities, or well, it's more of a contrast, but how Sanji beat the shit out of Luffy physically, but Sanji also beat the shit out of himself mentally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we can see that how Luffy is beaten, bruised against the tree who was
King Bomb.
that poor man.
that
That poor man did not deserve that.
He got destroyed. Oh man. But speaking of recap though, since it did happen, the recap, let's discuss it. How do you feel about that little girl that was on the dude's shoulder that got knocked out?
Dude, no, it was raining. The ground was muddy, so she was probably drowning in fucking mud.
Dude,
like,
she got
because
squished, dude. She got squished. that had me dying, dude. When she, like, you're the first one to notice. I didn't notice it until, like, we had our second watch before we did this video here. And you're like, you do know that she just died. Like, she just got, like, crushed. And I'm like, wait, what?
Basically. And you told me she wasn't filler. Like, she was just there. She just doesn't talk. She didn't.
Yeah,
like,
she's not filler from what I remember. I remember seeing her in the manga. She's not filler. That's pretty funny. She's dead. I don't think we've actually seen her since. Dead. But okay, so let's talk about the new opening. Okay, so next topic. How do you feel about the opening song change? Like, the song is the same. Yeah, the song is the same for Hope, the new, like, the opening, but the visuals are different. How do you feel about the visuals? Even though it's obvious... I feel like
many would say it's, like, it's lazy to put scenes from previous episodes in the opening.
Yes.
In the new version of the opening. But I think it really represents, like, what Sanji's been going through. And, like, even the lyrics...
The lyrics are the best part about it. The symbolic lyrics, it gets me every time. Like, I'm a sucker for stuff like that. When I first read those lyrics, because I want to let you guys know, I have actually never heard the Hope song until I started watching the anime with my friend Trent here. Like, I never got around to actually listening to it. And so when we got to the arc and I saw the lyrics for the first time and the animation in the opening, I'm like, whoa! This really fits with the arc and the message and what, Sanji's going through.
Yeah, you told me you were worried that the opening wouldn't fit.
Yeah, I was worried. I was very worried about that. I was very worried the opening wouldn't fit. I mean, One Piece has good openings. If there's one thing that One Piece usually does, has good openings.
The only opening we didn't really like was opening 12, which was that, where they did the manga color pages, and it was the Impel Down opening.
Was it the Impel Down opening?
Yeah, it's the one that sounded happy-go-lucky.
Oh, yes! It's the happy-go-lucky, which didn't make any sense.
It was the opening after Share the World.
Yeah, Share the World was amazing, and then they went into this weird opening that just did not fit the vibe of the arc at all. I'm like, why would you trade out Share the World for this? Yeah, I remember what you're talking about now. But the new opening, though, I have to say, visually-wise, it may have been lazy, but I do think, like you said, it fits. It fits perfectly for the theme of the episode and what we're getting into now. Do you think the visual change is going to be a thing, like it's going to be permanent, or do you think they only did it for this episode?
No, I think it's going to happen for the rest of the arc, but or unless they decide to change the visuals again. But
I could definitely see the visuals changing again. I'm not even going to know that one.
But I think the current opening we have, the newer version, I think that's going to be the one going forward.
Okay.
For a while. Because I remember Weekend, the opening visuals changed for the early parts of Whole Cake.
I believe, yeah, it did. It definitely did.
Yeah.
Well,
because Weekend started at Zoe, and it had the first part, which was, the regular stuff, and then it got into the arc stuff with Zoe, and then
it revealed new scenes. It had new scenes that popped up. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Okay, so shifting over to the next topic, how do you feel about the food scene with Luffy? Okay, so Luffy, he finally got to eat. This man has been starving for episodes upon episodes. He's been fighting constantly, fighting endless assaults from Big Mom's forces, fighting her, crew members. This man has been struggling without food. He's been standing strong, fighting in a field, fighting and not stopping, not eating, and refuses to eat, even though he was at death's door. How do you feel about that food scene when he finally received food from Sanji when the
Oh, it
basket
was
was laid near
emotional.
him? I mean, like, the entire scene, it was built up for a while, and the
Oh,
way the way it was done, like when you saw the food, like you know for a fact when you saw the food, you got a grotesque look on your face. You're like, ew, that looks disgusting. You have to admit that.
yes, but again the similarity between Luffy and Sora, Sanji's mother, how it looked like the most deplorable looking funk you'd ever see, and but they both ate it happily.
Yep, and they didn't care.
Yeah, they didn't care of how it looked. It's just the reason, like the love that was put into it.
That's exactly.
And also, can we talk about how even though Sanji made that food for pudding, every favorite of the each Straw Hat member?
Yeah, he instinctively. It wasn't something that he did willingly. He instinctively made the food in the food basket before he gave it to Luffy. All the food was made for the Straw Hats, individual Straw Hats, their favorites. And so he did that instinctively. That just shows you how attached he was to them and how he was actually thinking about them without even really realizing it in the first place. And it's sad when you realize that. I mean, he's trying to look at Pudding like it's, his shining hope. Before he even found out about Pudding's heinous personality and how she was, he still made food for the Straw Hats, which is just showcasing how much he missed them and he wanted to be with them.
Oh yeah,
It's
because it's basically his family.
yeah, it's his family. It's his new family. Besides, Zeph and all that, what Zeph did for him. I mean, the Straw Hats are his home. It's where he can go to and be himself.
Yeah, that's why that line killed me when he said, "I want to go back to the Sunny."
Oh, that line, that got me. That got me. Oh yeah, quick little thing to mention about the food scene though. I really like the little animation nod when the meat fell off the bone. I really like
Oh
that.
yeah,
That's a
it's all
nice little
soggy.
yeah,
And
it's
it just
soggy and
fell
it just
off.
fell off. I mean, it's not
And the
much.
fact that it was Luffy's favorite, the meat.
Yeah, I mean, I know not many might, or many might not care about that scene. They might think it's like irrelevant, but just little animation things like that, it just makes the scene so much better in my opinion. And when you saw the meat just fall off and all that, and it looked really bad, but Luffy continued to eat all of it, I just felt like it showed the bond between these two characters. Now,
Yeah.
moving into the next thing, let's talk about the 3 points. Let's talk about Sanji's 3 points and why he couldn't join back to the Straw Hat crew, why he couldn't go with Luffy. Now, the 3 points he covered was, number 1, he attacked his captain.
Insulted his captain.
He's insulted and attacked the captain.
Thankful Oda doesn't forget things in the past. Like with Usopp when Zoro said, "You don't insult our captain."
Yeah, you can't do that.
Back in Water 7, you can't do that. I know he's a dumbass, but he's our captain.
I really like how Oda is he has a lot of writing like that. He usually follows up with what he's done in the past. He's constantly done that. And that whole scene where how Sanji's like, I can't join back. I insulted you. I hit you. I dishonored you. That's a big reason why I can't join back. And it's really impactful when you think about it. Out of the 3 things he said, okay? He said he insulted his captain first. He didn't mention his family. He didn't mention, Zeph. He mentioned how he insulted his captain first. That was the first thing he mentioned.
Yep.
Which just shows how much that really hurt Sanji when he striked at, Luffy. That really affected him a lot. Now, the second one was how Zeph is being targeted. And
basically held at gunpoint
yeah,
without even knowing it.
And this is very different from any other arc we've seen. I mean, the whole situation with, Robin, it was bad. But Robin wasn't at a point to where, someone she cared about was at gunpoint. It was only the Straw Hats.
It was just herself, and she even hated herself.
No, it was just herself and her friends, which were the Straw Hats. But the Straw Hats, as we know, they're willing to risk their lives to save anyone. They don't care.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the big thing.
They declared war against the world government. When they shot that flag, they burned the flag, dude.
That was a great moment. Oh, my God, that was a good moment. But I mean, see, that's what separates the Zeph stuff from that scene, because Zeph, he's miles upon miles, hundreds of miles,
In
thousands
the
of
East
miles
Blue.
way far away from them. And so Luffy and the crew can't just go over there and save the man. It's not something as simple as
Right.
snapping your fingers and going over and saving the man, because they're so far away, there's just no way they could get over there in time if Big Mom wanted to end him. So,
And Big Mom could even end Fishman Island if she wanted to
Yeah.
at any time. They still couldn't do anything about it, even though Luffy said he would make it his territory. If she just ended all of Fishman Island right now, they really couldn't do anything.
yeah,
about
they
it.
couldn't stop her because she's just that powerful and all that.
And they wouldn't even know anything about it unless like the
news covered it, yeah. And so that's what really just shows the power of Big Mom and why Sanji's just so stuck, because it's so different from normal. He actually has someone that's being held at gunpoint that isn't in the Straw Hat crew, and they can't do anything about it. So that's got him majorly stuck in the corner, which caused the whole situation to why he attacked Luffy in the first place. He had to make a decision between his captain or his father, the person he views as his actual father. And that was just a really impactful scene. Now, the next point to talk about is the one where he wants to save his despicable, evil family. Now, from what many would view this scene as, many would say, I would throw them under the bus. Normally, people say, I would just completely throw them under the bus, and I wouldn't save them. That's what people would normally say. However,
you also gotta remember Reiju is among them, and Sanji and her both care about each other because like they're the only ones that have like been stuck through each other through the hard times. Like even when Sanji was imprisoned, Reiju kept visiting him, aiding him, like healing his bruises, wounds.
Yep, she always was watching over him, and that connection though, it's not just that one though. It's just Sanji cannot let his whole real family, biological family die. He just can't. And in a way, there is a correlation with Judge in that. Remember the reason why Judge couldn't kill Sanji? He's like, I'm just too human. I don't have the heart to kill my own son. Even though he didn't like Sanji, he couldn't kill Sanji. Which that's basically showing that Sanji, in some way, he is similar to his father. In some ways.
Well, in the human
nature-wise, he just can't let his own biological family die, even though he doesn't like them. Very similar to how Judge is. How he didn't want to kill Sanji, even though, he didn't like him. So that's kind of like the connection between that. So, yeah, that's a very interesting part of the episode. I thought that was, nice to see how Sanji clarified the real reasons why he couldn't. Now, once that was done, though, he actually says to Luffy, get lost. Not just get lost. And obviously after that, Luffy got, very angry. He was livid in that moment. And he got up, inspirational music, or very, sinister, sad music started playing, basically. And he hit Sanji. Now, this...
hard.
He hit him very hard. And it would come as a surprise for a lot of people if you don't get the message there, because as we both know, we saw it ourselves, he let Sanji just pummel him when, he first got in the arc. So, Sanji just beat the crap out of him, and he didn't attack back at all. And it's just why would he attack now of all times? Why would he attack Sanji after he let Sanji beat the crap out of him? Why would he do that? And, how do you feel about that scene? Why do you think?
I feel that it's symbolic because, it's the last straw for Sanji to break. Because, that one punch represents, the last straw just snapping. And he just breaks down and he says his true feelings because that punch was, the fist of love?
Yeah.
Garp?
Yeah, the fist of love.
That's basically what that is.
Giving him that fist of love, that fist of love greatness right there. My overall thoughts on it, too, is Luffy's you gotta meet me halfway. You gotta come onto the bridge and meet me halfway. That's
basically. Sanji just kept saying things Luffy already knew.
And Luffy already knew what he wanted. He just wanted to hear it. It's similar to the situation
And he lied
with
to his very last breath. He said, get lost, and that was a lie, and Luffy did not like that at all.
And Luffy just got livid because he's like, I know how you feel. Just say it. And that's, it goes along with what happened in the past. He didn't help out Nami until Nami said, help me. He didn't help out Robin.
And also with Robin. Yeah.
He didn't help out Robin until Robin really said, I want to live. So when you see these scenes, it's like Luffy just being Luffy, and he just needed to hear it from his own crew before he went out of his way to save them.
Basically, yes.
He wanted to make sure they met him halfway. He didn't want to go that far if they didn't want to risk their own life in the process. That's pretty much what that meant. Now, this will be a real quick topic. How do you feel about that We Are in, music that we got? That for that entire scene. Like, dude, that was, oh my god.
That broke me. I'm not even gonna lie. Like,
that's iconic. It's iconic. Oh, yeah. It's such an iconic theme. When you hear
I also noticed at the end of the episode for the next episode preview, they used the We Go instrumental.
Did they? I didn't even notice that. Did they?
Yeah.
Huh. I need to go back and look at that. Oh, okay, I need to check that. Huh.
But this opening may have topped it just like in terms of like the meaning of the opening, the lyrics, the song, but it is definitely like my second favorite opening.
We Are is a good song. I like Hope a lot, don't get me wrong, but just nothing will ever beat Share the World for me. That was just such a good song. I love Share the World so much. Just when you see, the Straw Hat's face in Kuma, and just Kuma sitting there and all that, and you see all the supernovas introduced in it, I don't know, just something about that opening gets me hyped. But in terms of symbolic messages and meaning, that the Hope is the best, easily.
Oh, yeah. I also like We Fight Together.
Oh, yeah, We Fight Together. I like that one. That was a good one. Okay, so this one will also be a very quick one. How'd you feel about the symbolism with the comparison of Judge, Sora, and Luffy when it came to, viewing, Sanji? Like how they viewed the food situation, to how they respected him and all that.
Like how Luffy encourages Sanji to cook, and Judge didn't want him to do any of that. He didn't want him to, like he says, you are my cook. Like,
yeah, he's encouraging him, and it's very similar to
encouraging.
It's very similar to Sora, Sanji's mother.
Yeah, and how they both ate the most deplorable looking heinous food. Yeah, and they didn't care.
It was like it really showed.
And Sora was already dying from the medicine she gave herself
to save Sanji, to give him emotions. So when you think about it, it just shows that Luffy is basically his new home, the new family for Sanji. The light he lost, which was Sora, that Sanji lost,
which was symbolized beautifully with the storm passing on, the darkness fading, the lights shining through.
Oh yes.
With the sunrise.
That was probably one of the best scenes, because it's kind of like Luffy has inherited the will of Sora, Sanji's mother. He's inherited her will, or the Straw Hats have inherited her will, and are now giving Sanji a home to where he can be himself.
Yeah.
So, the last topic. This one, it'll be quick, but I know everybody's hyped up to hear your thoughts on this. How do you feel about Katakuri, one of the sweet commanders of Big Mom's army, Charlotte Linlin? He is at the equivalent level of Cracker that we saw, and Smoothie. He's the second son of Charlotte Linlin, and he has the voice actor of Gintoki from Gintama. How do you feel about the man? Like, your first impressions?
Oh man, this man just looks like a man. He's got cowboy boots, okay?
He got little cowboy boots, dude. Like, oh man, the cowboy.
Not to mention the stitching on his face. That's a nice touch. And also his coat, his coat is like the most Dark Souls looking coat I've ever seen in anime, dude.
Dude, the man is straight up like hardcore looking. So, let me just ask you, since you're an anime only, you don't know what to expect from Katakuri. What type of personality do you think he's going to have? Do you think he is going to be like a heinous individual? Is he going to be, just like...
Well,
like
considering
Smoothie and
the
Cracker?
rest of the Charlotte family, I mean, I feel like he's going to be a bit different. I don't know, something about him tells me he's gonna be a more honest enemy.
An honest enemy, huh?
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, in terms of let's see, voice actor though, are you glad about the voice? Like, do you think the voice suits him?
I haven't watched Ginto much, but from what I've heard of Gintoki, the main protagonist, he sounds like he literally sounds menacing as Katakuri.
Oh yes, oh yes, and just a little
And what
brief.
I heard from him as Gintoki, he's like klutzy
Hey,
and
but no, let me tell you something, okay? I not to get a little bit off topic. Well, it is relevant actually. The voice actor of Katakuri right now, and the voice actor of Gintoki is also going to be voicing Escanor in Taizai's anime for season 2. Yeah.
huh.
So he's gonna have
So
some really. He's got Escanor, he's got Katakuri now, and he has Gintoki. So he's got some really good roles. This season he's got some really iconic characters. But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to our discussion. We've talked about pretty much everything. We got off topic a little bit. This is about 55 minutes right now in terms of recording. Man. So before we end this, I'll let you have your final say in a second. Everybody that's currently watching this, if you guys like these type of videos, let us know in the comments. I mean, my friend here, Trent, he wanted to do this. Like, he was like, we should do some discussion videos and stuff. And then that's why I asked you guys on, the channel and all that, asking if you guys would like something like that. And you guys seemed like you'd want some. So if you guys like these type of videos, like if you want more discussions with, my friend and me, and not necessarily just discussions on episodes, but we might make discussions like just topics in general on One Piece or something, and maybe
like on previous arcs.
Oh yeah, previous arcs or something, or just talking about things. I mean, if you guys would like something like that, let us know. Like, let us know in the comments. If there's enough support for it, we'll definitely do it. It just really comes down to that and how you guys feel about it. And hopefully you guys like this video. So Trent, final words. You have the floor real quick before we end this discussion video.
Alright, so it was fun really talking about this. I was nervous at first, obviously.
Well,
since,
obviously, it's your first time.
I haven't done this before.
Look,
The most experience I've had on YouTube was like 8 years ago when I did stop motion Lego videos, okay?
Man.
And voiceovers. It was
stop motion. People are gonna want that link most likely. I'm gonna tell you.
Oh no, I tried to find it myself. I can't even find my old channel. I wish I could.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It was all my files are on my old Toshiba laptop that died years ago. So.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. So
it's fine. They were fun to make, but I didn't get any views. I got 12 views.
Look, we all started off somewhere. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't get any views for my first 20, 30 videos uploaded. I'm not even gonna lie. I'll own that. I'll definitely own that. So I mean, look, okay, I understand that feeling. It's all about that just effort and just continuing pushing forward. But I would like this to be a regular thing. I really like this. It's nice, it's nice discussing.
It'd be easier for me, definitely, because I have anxiety and stage fright, and this doesn't seem too bad. I mean, of course, it was kind of bad at the beginning because I fumbled on my words a bit.
I know, problem. Don't worry. With the power of editing, they will never know. Don't worry, guys. You'll never see that. You'll never see it. But I've had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun being able to discuss this. Just a brief FYI, this is a rare thing. I don't actually do separate convos with people often on this channel.
Really?
No, I don't. I really don't. I've actually... I
noticed you join other people's
I join other people's streams, but I'm more of a recluse when it comes to my channel, though. I think many people call me a hermit a little bit. But, it's been fun talking about this type of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Now, to do one last thing, before I do end this, and I say my final farewells and stuff, let's tackle the elephant in the room, because I know everybody's going to be talking about already before they got to this point in the video, if you guys are still watching, by the way. But if somehow you made it to this point in the video and you're still watching, let's, ask the question you guys have all been asking. What's with the profile picture? Okay, let's get that out there, okay? Because they're gonna be asking you. Let's just get this out.
I'm a fan of My Little Pony.
Okay, see, I'm just making sure we clarify that because I know everybody's gonna be asking. He is a fan of it, Because I know you guys are going to be asking, so what's with the pick and all that? He likes it. And there's nothing wrong with that. If the man likes My Little Pony, he likes My Little Pony. I mean, there you go. So, anyways, to end the video, I'll let you have your final words, and then I want to conclude it. So, just say your final words.
This was really fun to do. Like, I didn't realize like an hour went by. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, I don't mind doing this for. I feel like we should do this for like more like, you know, episodes with like content we're talking about, like this one.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't think we could probably do every single episode.
I'm not sure if we should do every episode, but I'd definitely love to do this for very important episodes. Moving on.
Okay. I'm down with that. It's up to everybody else, so if you guys would like more of this too. So, with that, say your goodbyes, because I'm going to say my final one.
Oh yeah. I hope you guys had fun listening to us ramble on about this episode, and it was fun.
Well, guys, you have a wonderful day or not. Thank you so much for tuning in. And also shout out to my friend here, Trent, for, joining in and wanting to do this. I've had a lot of fun. It's definitely something I don't normally do, so I'm very thankful for that. And you guys have a wonderful day or not wherever you live. Please be safe no matter where you live, no matter what time you watch this video. I love you guys, and I think Trent here probably loves you guys as well. And you guys just be safe. Talk to you all later. Leave a like if you like this video. Subscribe if you like this channel. And if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below next to the subscribe button. So with that, be safe. Chibi out.